I'll start in just a minute once everything pops up. Looks like everything's popping up. Waiting for a couple others. Let's see. YouTube still says it's sending data. Alright, well, I'm just going to assume that YouTube's good. Well, this doesn't see anything. Currently the ones that are online are Twitch, Periscope, VK, and DLive. Twitch just came up. And then YouTube's still sending data, Facebook's still sending data, and then LinkedIn is still sending data. So, oh yeah, it's powerful stuff. For those who can see us, working on getting YouTube up and live, so just give us a few moments and then we'll start the stream. So, in the meantime, you can look at my ugly mug. Let me check one thing. Yeah, sure. Which one? All right, there you go. Oh, it says YouTube's online now. Let's see. Doesn't look like it though. Yep, it is. Alright, I'll give you the YouTube link and then you can share that. Got it? Cool. Alright, let's kick this thing off. What's up, everybody? This is Draith from Pirate Chain. I'm one of the captains, and I'm here to fill you in on some of the things that have been going on recently, as well as introduce to you a special guest today, Wolf of Waves, who's from Turtle Network, and he is absolutely a genius. And we're collaborating with Turtle Network to build an entire ecosystem. It's just wait, it's gonna be fantastic. As many of you know, Pirate Chain is the most anonymous cryptocurrency in the market today. Hands down, can't beat it. We've done a lot of developments lately, some of which are just groundbreaking. Thanks to the help of Zcash, we've created a light wallet. So now you don't have to download an entire blockchain just to use our wallet. And soon after, there's going to be a mobile wallet that's going to be developed for it. So you can do it on the fly. Fantastic. We recently got back from the Cayman Islands, which we'll be discussing in a bit, but the results of which are absolutely fantastic. And we have a lot of plans in the future in store for the Caymans. So, introducing Wolf of Waves, who's the CEO of Telex AI. He does business development for the Turtle Network, and a good friend of mine, even in the short time that I've known him. So he's absolutely an amazing dude. Wolf, you want to introduce yourself? Yeah. So let's kick this thing off with the point of sale commerce solution we have going on. So Pirate is collaborating with crypto brokers to create a point of sale commerce solution for accepting Pirate Chain natively to select locations, the first of which being the Cayman Islands. And first things first, what is the gateway solution exactly? One second, Wolf. Apparently they cannot hear you for some reason. Let me see exactly. Uh, let's try one thing real quick. All right, say something.
Testing, testing.
Yep.
There's an echo on your side, though, but
Ah.
I'll crush through it. No worries. No worries. Okay, so picking back up from where I believe I didn't, we didn't hear anything from me. So yeah, basically, I'm very appreciative for being, brought into the pirate community, and even more so appreciative that I've been given the opportunity to collaborate with you guys and, bring a platform that I'm very passionate about into your guys' wheelhouse so that together we can, develop this ecosystem and this platform, um, in, in the vision of what we want to see together, a shared vision. That's really special because in cryptocurrency, you have all these people with all these great ideas and they never want to collaborate, they never want to share. And it makes it hard for people in the community to grow when everyone keeps getting farther and farther away from a central point.
Oh yeah. So how exactly, or who exactly is going to maintain them?
Great question. So, the gateways that are going to be hosted on the Turtle Network are going to be facilitated by crypto brokers, my company in Estonia. One of the things that we have that puts us ahead of the competition is that we are already licensed by the Board of Finance in Estonia to be cryptocurrency exchange operators. So we have our exchange license, which you can see on the bottom of telexai.com. And so what that provides you guys is essentially assurance that, it's not some third party shady entity. We're licensed and registered and we're only here to facilitate the functions of a gateway, which is tokens in, tokens out.
So it's essentially going to operate like Crypto Bridge. What's the difference between that and Crypto Bridge exactly?
So the difference between this and CryptoBridge is that with CryptoBridge, you firstly had a third-party shady company doing the operations. Second to that, what happened was it wasn't your traditional gateway sense. I would call it more of an interpretation of what a gateway is. So they would allow you to deposit your coins and they would offer essentially an instant exchange. So you weren't custodially in control of those funds. And so what happened was, as they begin trading on your behalf custodially for you, there was an error in their servers from what I found from my investigations, and it caused an accounting error. And so basically, they were incorrectly executing orders against each other, and it caused an accounting error, which they weren't able to properly keep the books and were basically pushing funds out that weren't supposed to be going out. And, basically what it sounded like to me was a pretty strong case of breaking the law and negligence for sure. Um, so, it's much different from Crypto Bridge in that when you deposit your token or coin to our gateway, it's locked on the respective side with that gateway node, and then you're issued a proxy token that you will own. It's not custodially. We're not trading for you. If you go into the Turtle Network decentralized exchange, what you'll see is that you control all the operations and everything's done peer to peer. All the orders are settled through the nodes themselves, which have matcher engines on them. Users can actually run their own matcher inside of the network and gain fees for processing orders too. So it's a very unique exchange ecosystem that we have with Turtle.
Nice. So what insurance is there that the node operators or the gateway operator won't run off with the funds?
Well, that goes back to the crypto broker's name. As I've said, we're licensed and registered, and we've passed the Board of Finance approvals. So, they know us by name. I'm a registered e-resident of Estonia, registered e-resident in the European Union. Um, and then the only other person that's going to be operating this gateway with me is going to be Mr. Lynch, which is a trusted figure and face in the community. And I couldn't think of anyone better to be working alongside me on this gateway maintenance project.
Yeah, I assume most people know who Mr. Lynch is by now, but for those who don't, Lynch is the lead developer for Pirate Chain. So we have parties from both sides actually doing this. So this is a solid advancement of Pirate Chain. Um, Now, aside from that, I had something else I was going to ask. Um, oh yeah, so we talked about rebranding the Turtle Exchange. You want to say something about that?
Yeah, so while we're not giving the actual Turtle Network entity a rebrand, we're giving this a spiritual rebrand in a sense. So your community, the pirate community, already had someone come along and try to launch what was called Tortuga Exchange. And
Mm-hmm.
as you know from the chat room and all this stuff, it had fallen through and never came to materialize. There were a lot of great promises with what I had read with regards to that project. And so, when we came along and our name's Turtle Network and what's a Tortuga? It's a turtle. And you had this gap that needed to be filled, and it wasn't us coming along with ideas. We had a software platform and we're ready to integrate, and so it only felt fitting that we began as Turtle Network, and we're maturing into Tortuga Exchange. And so even if that's not the official entity name, the effort itself that exists within this pirate community, I think that should be called Tortuga Exchange. um, it gives people the power to trade through Turtle, and it's using a gateway technology to facilitate it, and it's bringing your community to us. So it almost feels like a little bit of a maturation for the platform in my eyes. Yeah, so initially, the functionality of a gateway is to facilitate coins in and out. And so when you look at R, which doesn't have any complex contracting abilities, doesn't have any ability to do anything other than transact. It's a currency, right? Um, when you look at having it added to a platform, you start to see some very interesting benefits for the users. Given that our platform is transparent by nature, everyone can see everything that's going on. For us, the addition of this gateway will allow users the ability to, come in and out, and they essentially won't have a track or trace, which allows people to, have the benefits of privacy even with this rudimentary implementation. And so once we have this rudimentary implementation, it will, in a sense, be a very rough side chain, right? Because we're able to engage in anonymous transactions by utilizing and leveraging that technology. Moving forward, uh, I'm always looking to develop and innovate, and that's why with the version 2 gateway that's going to be in development, it's going to actually kind of solidify this peg of a side chain. There won't be any custodial gateway anymore. The goal is that we're going to use a chain link oracle to actually be a sovereign gateway solution. So in combination, you have Ethereum, which is transparent, Chainlink, which is now interchain. You have this amazing combination where you don't have to trust a party for that gateway. You don't have to trust that that proxy token is always going to work. It just is, because you can see it at the code level. And so once you reach that point, it in my eyes, it fits the definition of what a sidechain is meant to do. And we don't have to be at the Cosmos level where we have this inter-blockchain operation. Inter-blockchain operation at the end of the day is two blockchain projects communicating with each other and building that bridge that bridges the capabilities of both into one.
Now, would that allow us to do smart contracts potentially?
So you're absolutely right. Considering that Turtle Network has smart contract capability, we can actually write into contracts that it would require an amount of R to complete the transaction. So on the GitHub for Waves platform, which is where we've based our code from, they have an anonymous prototype for transactions. And basically what it does is it constructs a ZK, a zero knowledge transaction, actually on the Waves blockchain using contracts and ring CT and ZK snarks, a big mosh posh. It's their own interpretation. And so, for this contract, it could be deployed, and the requirement could be that it costs 5R to operate, or 2R, or it could be dynamic. How many, how thoroughly mixed would you like to have these input outputs? But you have a lot of opportunity with the level of smart contract that we offer, because our language is what's called it's not as expressive as Ethereum, for example. So it's immediately less prone to being hacked or messed with. It's in a very concise coding language. And then, one of the other benefits to this is that we already have our scaling solution figured out. It's in the bag, and
Yeah,
there's no real
that's
question.
actually what I was going to ask you too about scaling, because Ethereum does have scaling issues.
Exactly. And so, that's a great topic to launch onto. And so I'm going to start with discussing one of my smaller projects first, is that Telex AI was prototyped on Ethereum. And, one of the reasons that we decided to move it to the Turtle network was that, once we reach scale, essentially, it's going to be extremely costly for us to be running on Ethereum because of how much transactions and interactions with smart contracts cost. So, looking at the Turtle network, what is our scaling solution? Well, we have a scaling solution written by Emin Surgurer, or he was a collaborator in such an effort, and they wrote a white paper called Bitcoin NG. And Bitcoin NG is really quite incredible when you look at it, because what they've done is they lowered the block times and created this system where you have header blocks and micro blocks. So every transaction is a micro block that fits inside of a header block, and the header block is stamped at the new block height and locked in place. So basically, you have this really cool system where, if you could think of a file cabinet that gets bigger the more files are in it, and gets smaller the less files are in it, that's essentially what we have. So it's reminiscent of Monero's dynamic block sizes, which can be filled to, I believe, any size, but I would have to check there. I don't want to throw out a number and be
Yeah,
incorrect
yeah.
with that.
Damn, that's crazy.
It's very impressive technology from both sides. Pirate and Turtle Network, they're very impressive Goliaths that have yet to reach maturity, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, Pirate's only been out just over a year, so I can only imagine down the road, especially with the collaboration with Turtle, how big both projects are going to get, because I mean, this is just amazing stuff.
Yeah, it's very exciting, especially from my perspective, and my perspective is that coming together is the way to take down the biggest obstacles. And I come from a grassroots community, and you come from a grassroots community, and we share the same thing. We just want adoption for the rest of the space. We want everyone to be involved, because for me, at least, when I look back on cryptocurrency in 2010, 2013, what was the call to action? You got to help the unbanked. You
Yeah,
got to help the disenfranchised. You need people to adopt this technology so that. And here we are, almost 11 years now later, and those same people are still unbanked. Those same people are still disenfranchised by the financial power regime that they're in. And I just think it's kind of comical. And people are developing these many different altcoins, which is cool. Please, keep innovating. I think innovation's great, but to focus so intensely on these small tangents is going to distract everyone from the overarching problems and themes that need to be addressed.
oh yeah,
So
100%. Because I mean, originally, Bitcoin's open source, so that was an open invitation for everybody to build upon that. But after a while, people just started splintering off and doing their own projects, which is all great because it creates innovation and developments. But it's just gotten to the point where it's out of hand, and we missed the whole point of you know crypto in general is to work together. That's why everything's open sourced. So
Yeah,
if everyone did stuff like Pirates doing with Turtle, and then hopefully more projects will join in on the fun, and start developing an entire ecosystem like we're trying to build. I mean, things will be absolutely amazing, and adoption would come a lot quicker too.
absolutely. And, for anyone that's listening, I really want to make this a point that this is an open invitation for you. Everyone that wants to come and work with us, come forward. This is your opportunity to help, you know, shape the ecosystem you want to see as a user and a customer of the system you're partaking in. So, step up. Now's the time.
Yeah, and Pirate's a community project, and so is Turtle. So I mean, you can just literally come in and just start helping out. Input your knowledge, input your skills, and we can just build this thing even bigger.
Absolutely. And I'm not here to say that, everyone's going to, in some way get rewarded. But I know in my community, at least, that when people do hard work, whether it be graphics, whether it be a tutorial video, whether it's implementation of a technology, the community is very thankful for this work, and they will donate, the native platform token to, to say thank you and to represent that, they appreciate what's been done. So
Oh yeah, the same thing with Pirate. I mean, me myself, I'm a generous tipper, so when somebody comes in and does some really good work, I'll throw them some Pirate and not even think about it. And there's several people like me that are just, throwing tips around because that's what it's all about. It's just helping build each other up with this project to make it even bigger than what it currently is. And I guarantee it's the same way with Turtle too. So
absolutely. It's always about the cause, and it's always about, the contributors at the end of the day.
yeah, exactly. All right, so time for a little fun talk. Let's have a discussion about the Caymans, because us pirates were there, and last minute, we met with you, and we're like, this guy is really awesome. He'd be a great addition to Pirate. Let's just bring him along and see what happens. And we did, and that was the best decision we could have possibly made because you're an amazing addition to Pirate in general, and especially with all your knowledge, your technical breakdowns and whatnot. So um, we brought Wolf along, and uh, one night we were actually talking about, how would we implement Pirate in the Caymans, and I forget who it was. It might have been you that brought up, the point of sale system and how it would work,
Yeah.
and it was just a phenomenal idea. So if you want to discuss that, that'd be amazing.
Sure. If I remember correctly, the discussion was it was after we had met with a bunch of people, and they're basically talking about processing fees, if I'm correct. And I,
Yep,
I
yep.
think we heard it was somewhere around 8%. I laughed and I said, "Oh, 8%, that's a lot. If we were to minimally even get these people on like Coinbase, that's like almost a 6% drop off. And, it would actually be in our best interest to maybe actually develop our own point of sale and pitch it here. Because if we could get the fee structure under 2%, that there's almost no one that's competing at that level. And from there, we all kind of said, like, what if there was a point of sale system here? And I was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, absolutely. It's not even out of the question, because an e-commerce solution it's a very simple technology. Everyone uses them, everyone has them. Anywhere you go, there's a point of sale to collect money, right? And so, we were in the Caymans, and they pride themselves on their financial privacy. And, you guys have one of the greatest financial privacy tools in existence, and I have one of the highest throughput platforms in the space. And so bridging all these items together, you know, you can essentially come out with a point of sale system that accepts natively, R. So they have their financial privacy. Second to that, we have the gateway solution that's in Turtle. So those users can also accept Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum if they wanted, right? So, it was just a real progression of logic for us, and it it showed us all at the same time that this was the right idea. And moving forward from that, when we actually went to go pitch it to people, I was just I was enamored by the response. People were very excited, and every person wanted to know more.
Oh yeah, and hell, the moment you talk to people down there about privacy, especially store owners, they had more to say than we did. I mean, it
Oh
was
yeah,
crazy. They went on for like 10, 20 minutes just talking about privacy and the importance of it and why government shouldn't be looking in on what I spend my money on and all that other stuff. So I mean, it was just a perfect match, and to have um, a solution for them to not only accept pirate, but if they really wanted to, they could just still accept their Cayman dollars, but it would just be using the person paying in pirate first, going through a whole entire process, and then the end result is they get their fiat. So, and it's going to work similar to a credit card where they don't even see any of this happening, and they don't even have to know. Just like credit cards, nobody knows. I mean, most people don't know how they really work. What the whole entire exact process is, but they just know that they use it. Somebody gets paid, and then they get whatever they purchased. So it's going to
exactly.
be exactly like that.
And yeah, that was one of the most important aspects that I had for you guys to like tell other people is you know there are a lot of things we don't understand. Some people don't even understand how the car works that they're sitting in right now listening to this, right?
Yeah.
But it works. We have faith and we trust because there's proven results, right? And so that's where blockchain needs to head is, and you can tell it's still in the speculation phases because that's what people talk about is the is like the blockchain tech, even if it's in a whole different basket of applications. At the end of the day, technology is meant to facilitate and make our lives easier. It doesn't mean we have to learn
Exactly.
it. It's like a foreign language to most people, and they shouldn't be expected to learn this stuff. We as innovators need to create solutions and frameworks and applications that do not require that knowledge, that make these settlement layers that we're pushing so hard for a true back-end solution to the point where it's securing our lives without us even having to worry, think, or know about it.
Oh yeah, and one of the ladies that dealt with contracts at the Pirate Festival even stated, this project is really interesting, but I just don't understand any of it. And that was kind of a light bulb moment for me in thinking, we need to make this so that anybody can use it, even with somebody that has no idea what Bitcoin is. But if they get a wallet and somebody sends them Pirate Chain or hell, even Turtle, they can just go to a store that accepts Pirate Chain or Turtle and just scan their wallet, and then that's it. If we can make
Yep,
it that easy for people, I mean, adoption will just fly out the roof because, I mean, everything else in crypto at this point is just really hard to use. And that's the problem.
absolutely. And interestingly enough, why I felt like I was such a great fit was, my first attempt in crypto for like my own standalone project was with my partner Jan, and we made Telex AI, which I encourage everyone to go check out. It's in the testnet phase, and it's a cryptocurrency exchange bot. The entire intention of it was to use technology as the back end and facilitate an experience where the only barrier to entry to use crypto is the ability for a person to read and press a button. And so, using that level of insight, I think this e-commerce solution can be wildly successful because these people don't have to know anything. It'll all be handled, on the front end for them in a nice, pretty package, that they get to unbox and enjoy.
Yeah, 100%, man. Um, is there anything you want to talk about the festival? Like anything that we stumbled upon there, or do you want me to start bringing up stuff and you comment on it?
Yeah, we'll go in that fashion. You can bring some stuff up, and I'll throw in some points.
Okay. Um, so throughout the whole entire week we were there. We were there from Wednesday afternoon. House, who's part of Pirate Chain, was there on Tuesday, so he scouted some areas and got us a rental car. But once we all got there, started hitting the place hard, handing out cards and coins, and just talking to everybody. Um, and like mentioned previously, all the store owners were, more interested in privacy than I could have ever imagined, and therefore our project just was right up their alley. Um, we met quite a few people with a lot of influence, not only with uh, the Caymans in general, but just in crypto too. We met uh, Alex from Coin Payments, which it was just funny how that happened. You want to go into that because you and Lutz were the ones that met him.
Yeah, I was with Lutz, and he grabbed me. He's like, "Hey, you finished eating? We should go out there. We should go find some people in the plaza." I said, "Yeah, let's go do it." And so we went around, and we're handing out the cards and the coins, and I see this really well dressed guy, walking out of one of the stores, and I approached him. I said, "Hey, man, you got a minute to talk about privacy?" And he's like, "Do you know who I am?" And I was just like, I have to say, I actually don't. I apologize. And he's like, "I'm from Coin Payments, man. I own Coin Payments." And then Lutz was like, "Oh my god!" And he just took over, and it was nuts. He's like, "Yeah, this is my platform." And I was just like, "I've used your platform so many times, man. It's such a pleasure to use, and I love that the level of adoption is where it's at. I use it at so many different online stores. So that was just incredible. Running into people, with influence that not only were in the Caymans, but were in the Caymans during the Pirate Week.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It was wild.
I mean, I was shocked at how many people that we met that not only were interested in crypto, but I didn't even know were down there. You know, I mean,
Oh
hell,
yeah.
the I'm not gonna bring up what company it was, but we met a couple CEOs from big name companies, and I was sitting there astonished, like, is that really them? I mean, I actually looked up on LinkedIn if it was them, and it was. I'm like, holy crap, you know.
Oh
So
yeah.
it was a phenomenal experience. I think next year we're going to try and partner with the Pirates Week Festival and be their official cryptocurrency. So
Yeah.
that's going to be absolutely amazing, and hopefully by then we should have the foundation laid out to actually release the point of sale system. So
Yeah.
I believe that
Absolutely.
you were what's the status on your part with that actually, real quick?
With the point of sale.
No, with the gateway and everything. That's because the gateway is going to be built into that point of sale, correct?
Right. Yeah, that'll be one of the features. Is
Yeah.
we'll tie the gateway to that. So as far as the gateway goes, me and a developer from the Turtle Network are finalizing our test today. We're actually going to be doing a test deposit transaction to ensure that the functionality is at 100% with it. And as soon as we have confirmation that it worked on our side, we're going to hand off the code to Mr. Lynch, and he'll modify the Ethereum portion to be the R acceptance portion. And then, I can't give like a concrete timeline on what that looks like, as I have no bearing on the Zcash technology. It's a little bit new for me, but
Yeah.
I'm happy to be taking it on. Um, but my goal is that by January 1st, we should have the gateway. That would be the hope. And if not, it would definitely be coming very soon after that. Because we're very actively on the push with this. So
Oh yeah, and that's basically one of our highest priorities at this point. And one of the questions that I had that was kind of answered by itself based off of the people that we met there was, what about liquidity? Because I mean, if you have an expensive purchase, and there's not enough within that trading pair that it'll just trade all the way down. What's the point? But we've actually met people down there that could be those liquidity providers, and
Yeah.
not only are they be interested in doing that, but their benefit would be seeing the price of Pirate Chain increase.
Well,
So
yeah.
by
Real
accept,
usage as a currency is what they were actually interested in it for. And,
yeah,
what was really incredible about those particular people was not just their interest, but the status behind them.
oh yeah,
Which further drove the interest, which was very exciting to me.
oh yeah, and the other thing too is that if we were to get that whole island on this, payment gateway, I mean, think about that. It opens up another cash register for them to actually accept the form of payment, which drives in more business, especially if
Exactly.
we have people that hold our or people from the pirate community just fly down there and they can stay by just paying in pirate chain. I mean, it's just the thought of that's mind blowing because I don't know really anywhere else where a whole country you can actually spend a specific cryptocurrency. I
Yeah, no.
mean, there's always some places where, oh, this place accepts it or this place accepts it, but for an entire country, insane.
It's, a, it's absolutely game changing. And, what was most encouraging to me out of the whole time there wasn't a single person that I talked to that did not know what Bitcoin was. Every single person I talked to, and, between all of us, we talked to easily, over 1,000 people. And, for all those people to know out of a random sample demographic like that, that's quite impressive in my book.
Oh yeah, 100%. And the amount of blockchain advocacy groups down there was impressive too. I mean, we met with several of them, or in contact with several of them. Personally, I met two people separately that are part of two different groups. So, I mean, I have both their contacts, and we're getting in touch with each other here and there. But it's just amazing the push for cryptocurrency acceptance down there, and for the fact that everyone really knows about it. I mean, it's great, absolutely great.
Yeah, I couldn't be more excited about all the opportunities in front of us. It's,
Yeah.
it's really looking quite bright.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, that's all I got, man. Is there anything else you want to say?
No, I just wanted to express my gratitude one more time for, your community not only being so welcoming, but, you know, just I'm so grateful that, you guys have all the people you do, core media and, which to me are friends and family. So, it kind of feels a little bit like a homecoming to me. So I'm very happy to be here and I'm very happy to be a contributor with you guys. And I really appreciate you taking the time to have me on your channel today and, discuss the amazing trip we had and the things that we're working on together.
And for the future of many, many good things to come too, man. Because the only thing I see in Pirate Chain and Turtle's future is just success, adoption, and then just an amazing collaboration between both parties. So this is going to be an outstanding partnership between us.
Absolutely.
So all right, well, everyone, that's it for the live stream. So thank you for watching. Uh, if you have any comments, questions, feel free to jump into the Pirate Discord or speak with me or speak with Wolf. He's also in the Pirate Discord, so he can answer there, or join the Turtle Network Telegram. Anything, just feel free to reach
Absolutely.
out to us, and we'll definitely be happy to talk about it. So this is Draith, and this is Wolf, both signing off. Have a good day.
See you guys.